We're on a mission to win the UEFA Champions League with Dinamo Zagreb in the Ultimate Glory Hunter Challenge, but it turns out to be much harder than we thought. In our first 3 attempts, we only reached the knockout stages twice. This episode, the goal is very simple. We want to break the round of 16 barrier and finally win Europe's most prestigious prize. Ahmed Kara was quite decent last season, but overall, he could have given more. So I decided to sell him to Saudi Arabia for 33 million, as well as Antonio Vidovic, but for only 2.8 million. Adding on over 100 million in the transfer budget we've had already, I knew one thing. We want to win the Champions League with Dinamo, and to make sure we have a chance, it's the right time to play bold. So I signed Liam Labe from Stade Rennes. A price for this centre back? 27.5 million. And Nehosian going back to Rennes for 6 million. But before him, I also signed Jonis Gerard from Orsilon for a modest fee of 65 million. And Christian Lot going to Standard Liège for 750k. We also made a swap at left back. Francesco Cascella went to Lokomotiva Zagreb permanently, and from then, we took Ilan Držić. And on the deadline day, we let go Jonut Forna for 9 million to Feyenoord, and replaced him with Jan Hodul from Benfica on a loan. So who are we going to play in the Champions League? Teams like Reims, Luzern or Roda are beatable, but I am afraid reaching the knockouts will be decided on a very tight margin again. Borussia Dortmund was our first opponent, and they unfortunately found 2 goals. We only could score 1, with Georgi Graminov's header, but that wasn't enough to beat the German team. Against Roda, we've only seen 1 highlight, but it was enough for Josip Szpechar to give us a winning goal 69 minutes in. We weren't as prolific against Lazio though. We absolutely thrashed them in terms of the stats, but it came to no fruition. We even had 2 offside goals, but it was only enough for a stalemate. There was no stalemate against Chelsea though. Grgica Jenic opened up the scoring, and Usman Jara soon followed. Though Ilker Akildis scored a consolation goal, the Blues couldn't change much. And to make it worse for them, we've got a penalty out of this foul. Jenic converted it, and thus we won 3-1. Unfortunately, we didn't have a good start against Reims because Michael Mkize tackled the opponent. And shortly after, we conceded a finesse shot from Felix Brandt. Brandt then scored a free kick, and later on completed a hat-trick, only being slightly interrupted by Usman Jara. FC Luzern from Switzerland didn't cause that much trouble. We comfortably won 3-1 against them, and gave ourselves a bit more room before the 2 final games, against Inter and Real Madrid. It is a test for us, a test that checks if we are finally up to the Champions League winning standards. And now it's Vukovic with the ball in the middle of the pitch. Jukic finds Mkize. Mkize is in the area. That was a light shot, but it was strong enough to go in and give us the lead. Inter is struggling this season, and although they're about to score an equalizer, Graminov makes a pass to Szpechar. Držić finds Mkize. What a brutal chip. No offside. Drives into the area. And he's got it! Maxim Picak with the 3rd goal somehow. Tries to find Darajkovic, who makes a pass to Kostyuk. Nice sequence here. Držić. Držić enters the area. Držić shows Kostyuk how to score. We have absolutely demolished Inter Milan in our home in Zagreb with a 4-1 result. Behar in front of the area. Hodul finds Jenic, who's injured, but it doesn't really matter because he's scored. 81 minutes in. It's not looking good, but Graminov tries to clear it. He does so, but Benjamin passes to Daniel Lakopoulos. Bottom corner to Cakovic. Dietrich finds Lakopoulos, but Gerard with a save. Looks like he's not. Jara is definitely injured. And Herculano over the crossbar. Dietrich loses possession to Rodriguez. Picak. Picak on the right side. Jara is injured. He won't be making deep runs, but he's taking that ball and will make a cross. Or pass it back to Labe. Labe to Pezo. And Hodul. Picak found the rebound. The Croatian side makes history. And we're in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Not the knockout playoffs. The round of 16. We achieved something massive in Madrid. We don't have to go through the knockout playoff round. We're in a brilliant position to go further than the first 2 knockout rounds. Our opponents in the round of 16 are Lazio. We played against them in the league stage before, and only got a draw. Can we be more prolific this time around? Long free possession play from Lazio. Madziedzie gets that ball. Graminov tries to clear it. He already has a yellow card, so he needs to be cautious. Jimenez in the area. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Bossanas this time is wide out on the wing. Finds Jara. Jara finds Jenic. Jara. Agustin loses possession. Jenic has the ball. Left-footed strike. Jimenez makes a cross. Gerard. Oh, that was a very bad fumble from him. Vukovic with a free kick. And he makes a pass to Rodriguez. He makes a pass to Jenic, who scores a hat-trick. We've taken the lead over Lazio again. It's a clear sign that we have an advantage in Zagreb. Well, this ball somehow goes to Benassi. Benassi to Perella, who makes a turn and this time doesn't miss. Jukic makes a pass to Jenic. Jenic with a strike! Equalizes the aggregate. Equalizes the match, but gives us the lead in aggregate. Being played on the left. Jenic makes the first touch, makes a turn. Scores the 5th against Lazio in this aggregate. We ticked off another milestone on our journey to win the Champions League. It's the quarterfinal now, in which we'll play Newcastle United. A bit of smart management, and we can genuinely get past the English side too. Is in the area already, wins the ball back, makes a pass to Jukic, 10, Nikita Jukic gives us the opening goal against Newcastle. We go with Labe or someone else, for example. Tadic, Pezzo. Oh no, Lucas Enrique with the ball in the area, and he scores instantly from the kickoff. Medina, I think we should ignore narrow because Lucas Enrique shatters our defensive line again. Oh no, that might be a third. It is a third, it's an own goal as well. And a corner in the 95th. It's a chance for a penalty. And before we see who steps up, I think it's Vukovic. Yes, it's him. He scores! The late penalty from Vukovic gave us that little hope. The hope that we can actually go on to win the UEFA Champions League itself. Montero, oh, Dean has got past the defender, very easily hits the crossbar. The Bulgarian now chases down the left side. Makes a cross to Kostyuk, who's been stopped by the keeper, but it's a corner still. It's a final highlight of this match. Szpechar, Graminov, he found Hodul. Hodul turns around, Hodul makes a strike, hits the post, it's over. We may have lost, but we've crossed another bunch of milestones this season. Not only did we finish the league stage in the top 8, but we also reached the quarterfinals. I think we're about to reach our goal with Dinamo. We're 1 or 2 moves away from claiming the trophy and rounding up our stint in Croatia. In the domestic league, we started slowly, but it didn't stop us from building an 11-point gap halfway through the season, which we enlarged to 33 at the end of the campaign. I think it's finally time to attack the Champions League itself. We again started with 100 million of a budget in the bank, but I already spent some of it on Jean Carlos from Norwich City. Later on, I also brought in Andreas Czerwiński from Austria Wien for 15.5 million. The only notable departures are Zlatan Celiak, who went to Fortuna Sittard for 3 million, and Aledin Čechen to Estoril Praia for a loan. During the winter, we also said a temporary goodbye to Fran Rocco Darajkovic, who went to Limbu in Denmark for a loan. This time, we got a fairly easy league stage, with the opponents being Anderlecht, Utrecht, Riem, or our former club, Botev Plovdiv. But first, Inter Milan, who came to a conclusion that 1-1 demolition was not enough, and decided to be demolished 4-1 again. Then, we played Anderlecht, and despite our domination, it ended with a stalemate. Against Riem though, we found 2 goals. Grgica Jenic scored a brace, except for the fact he used Usman Jara to score the first goal. We quickly took the lead against Bayer Leverkusen, but the Germans found a way to finish this game with a draw. Botev Plovdiv, who just built a 36,000-seater stadium, weren't on our level though. We took control of the match with 3 goals, and their sole response didn't give them the hope to fight. But if you think Botev had a difficult time, think about Utrecht. Grgica Jenic decided to host his own show, scoring 4 against the Dutch team. The penultimate league stage game was against Borussia Dortmund, which had a bit of a background, as Josip Szpechar was desperate to move to the black and yellows, and I consistently rejected the offers. Josip, of course, was injured for this match, but it didn't stop us. We had a brilliant start. Jean Carlos gave the lead 3 minutes in, and after 360 seconds in total, we are leading 2-0 thanks to Michael Mkize, who got an assist from the Brazilian. However, Borussia can also score 2 goals very quickly, and that's what they did, making this game finish with a draw. The final league stage game, it was against last season's winners, FC Barcelona. Win this, and we're in a genuine contention of winning the whole thing. Graminov passes to Jean Carlos. Jean Carlos with a strike, and the Brazilian gives us the lead over Barcelona. And looks like this time it's Barcelona having a highlight. Ishigaki, Saralegi, he's on the right wing. What a dive. That is a dive. No, not even close for a penalty. He's given a pen as Franco converts it. Oh no. Because Blanco finds space and Liam Labe scores an own goal. It's offside. It's offside. Okay, this is actually brilliant news for us. Despite not winning this game, we confirmed yet again we're one of the top teams in Europe now. So it's finally time to show that in the knockouts, where, in the round of 16, we're starting out with Borussia Dortmund. And for those wondering, Spechar stayed with us. He already has a yellow, so he has to watch out. The Frenchman. Gerrard, terrible pass! That's absolutely terrible! Linus Devil with a goal. Jenic finds Mkize on the left. Mkize with a cross. Jenic equalizes. Evens out. Thinks. Vukovic. Kostyuk. That was 500 miles offside anyway. That is a draw in the first leg, but we have the advantage. In terms of the stats, very attacking formation here. Jukic finds Avdic on the right wing, and now it's across to Jenic. Referee says no offside. We're taking the lead over Borussia Dortmund. Mazinho. Well, he's hesitated a bit too much, and Jenic punishes that perfectly. Stefanovic needs to rush it back very quickly. Einan Kroland. He's on... Oh no! Ciccarelli. Ciccarelli finds Heleniton and he's on a 1v1. He scores. It's valid. And thankfully Borussia Dortmund don't find another goal. This means for the second time in a row, we're in the Champions League quarterfinal. We've taken another step forward. We're only 5 matches away from potentially winning the trophy. But the question is, who are we going to play in the quarterfinals? I have mixed opinions. It's again an English team, Arsenal. We've had a curse on ourselves in this save. We got to draw an English team 4 times in the European quarterfinal, and we lost all of those matches. To win the Champions League, we first have to break that curse. Nothing has gone on in the first half, which, quite surprisingly speaking, is quite good news. Passing it to Antunes from a throw-in. McLaren finds Brav. Brav cuts inside. Thankfully he misses. Quite surprisingly, that was the only highlight, and we're going with a 0-0 draw to London. Stefanovic. I don't know why he's taking the free kick, but let's see what he does. Stefanovic across to Labe. Labe with a strike. We're taking the lead over Arsenal. We've won over Arsenal. We are in the Champions League semi-final. We crossed a huge milestone here. Newcastle tried to make a comeback against Bayer Leverkusen, but just fell short. So we're taking on the runners-up of the Bundesliga, who would later on win the league. Rojas then passes to Tribaldi. He'll be looking for a pass back to Herbert, and Rojas with a strike. He's advancing forward, the Frenchman. Jukic finds Vukovic, but the ball goes to Mkize. Mkize with a strike! We equalize in the aggregate as well. We'll overlap Kostyuk. Kostyuk rushes down the right wing himself. He'll be looking to make a pass back to Vukovic. Spechar wins that ball. Mkize makes a turn and scores the second. We're taking the lead over Bayer Leverkusen. A throw-in. Rojas. Naxu to retreat. Hits the crossbar. Raul Gracia with a goal. Now it isn't great news, but it's okay news, because we could have been winning. And now we're looking for a sequence of our own. Grgica Jenic finds Diarra on the right side, and this somehow finds the net. We're taking the lead over Bayer Leverkusen. It is an own goal, and it's a corner. Stefanovic. And Labe again scores just like against Arsenal. Jukic. Kostyuk. Vukovic. 3-0 against Bayer Leverkusen. Nothing else will change. We've done it. We're in it. We're in the Champions League final from Zagreb. Let's now find out who will be our opponents there. It is going to be between Manchester City and AS Roma. Of course, the Conference League win, but in the Champions League itself, it's the comeback against Barcelona. But it looks like they're not starting with a comeback today. And it looks like Manchester City on a very good way to cement their way to the Champions League final. It's going to be left-footed, definitely. Hernan Flores has not been stopped by the keeper, but Aubert did find his intentions right. Instantly loses him possession. As well as Moldovan wins it back very quickly. Dribbles past the opponents. Irina Moldovan with their second goal tonight. But it will take something massive from the Italians. Karimi De Palma. And he scores a consolation. I can't see what's going on here. Probably the game just finished. But it looks like Manchester City are in the Champions League final and will be our opposition in Puskás Arena. Turns out we will go against a team managed by a man who has a stadium named after him. Before going to the final though, we absolutely dominated the league with a cup win as an addition. And now, this is it. This is the UEFA Champions League final. Just one game and we can write ourselves in the history books forever. This is it. I mean, this is genuinely it. Manchester City, we're keeping them not that well because Gilverin is looking for Henin. Joris Gerrard with a save. Is looking for the right side of the pitch. We'll be looking for a cross or pass back to Bosana Semkise with the ball. Terrible miss. 0-0 draw at halftime. Any changes in the 60th minute? Now it's time for the changes. Ilan Držić, Hezo, Picak, Rodriguez, Jan-Carlos Vukovic, Moldovan to Vasic. Vasic, fantastic tackle from Bosanac, but it only goes to Henin, who's been stopped. Final minute. Stefanovic, long ball. Now we have to just win this header. We do, but we... Oh no. Oh no. No. No! Don't do this to me. Moldovan on the left side. Bosanac with a tackle. Botfield. Vasic, Henin. Long shot that hits the post. We're so lucky here. Wow, I genuinely thought this was it. Extra time now. Let's bring on Yasmin Avdi. Araujo over the crossbar. Jan-Carlos. Jan-Carlos cuts inside. Jenic with a strike. All about energy management here. Stefanovic to Jan-Carlos. Jan-Carlos, he found Rodriguez. He found Jenic. This Champions League final is going to end up in a penalty shootout. Oh my days. This is actually stressful. This is the first time I'm genuinely stressed in Football Manager. Henin. He's looking for a strike. Top bins. Itzak. Isn't stopped by the keeper. We're so lucky here. God, please be on our side. I mean it. Hernan Flores. Bottom corner. Jukic. Tired, but he's good enough to score. He was brilliant against AS Roma. This time he scores into the bottom corner as well. Rodriguez. Brilliant. Araujo in the fourth round of the penalty shootout. Panenka. Jan-Carlos now has a chance. Good strike here. Well, it is time for Miller, who's hitting this penalty. Too powerful for Gerrard, and this is the deciding one. Grgica Jenic needs to score. He scores, but that was so close. Borsit. Stopped by Joris Gerrard, and this is a brilliant chance for Baldo Pezo to become the man who gives us the Champions League trophy. Baldo, it's only you. Please. Please. He's done it! We've won the UEFA Champions League with Dinamo Zagreb, and I'm just delighted to say we've done it. I knew this was going to go down to the penalty shootout. And you know what? History has been made. For the first time since 1991, a team from outside the top 7 nations, England, Germany, Spain, France, Italy, Portugal or the Netherlands, lifts Europe's elite prize. I'm actually going to say it. This was the first game in Football Manager, during which I felt genuine stress. What if we don't make it? What if one of us misses in the penalty shootout? What if that long shot from Henin went in? But thankfully, we don't have to worry anymore. We are on top of European football. You might have felt this for a couple of episodes now, but there's a reason why I set the Champions League as my goal with Dinamo. This Champions League win is the perfect way to round this save up. At least this part. We won a total of 11 domestic leagues. Domestic cups in Latvia, France with Monaco, Hungary, Slovakia and Croatia. 2 Super Cups with Monaco, the League Cup with Mariehamn, the Conference League with Spartak Subotica, the Europa League final with Ferencvaros, the Champions League with Dinamo Zagreb, and the FIFA Club World Cup with Paris Saint-Germain. In Croatia itself, we won the league 6 times, the cup 5 times, and claimed 3 Super Cups. I also want to use this time to thank our team, who went through thick and thin to win us the most important trophy. Most notable thanks are going to the goalkeeper Joris Gerrard, who saved a deciding penalty, Nebojša Stefanovic, who commanded the backline, a tireless winger Usman Jara, a player who always came in clutch Maxim Picak, and the reliable goal scorer, and Grgica Jenic. We also just sneaked into the Worldwide Hall of Fame. I'm the 20th best manager in the world of all time, and just made it to the ranking. Obviously, I am also the greatest manager in Polish history, but that was quite expected. I am going to make a huge lookup of this save soon, where we'll go through all of the major leagues, our former teams, and anything you want to look for. So comment down below, what do you want to see in this save? I also have a checkpoint for every end of the stint we've had with each club, usually just after winning the title. Thank you for coming along in this series, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I will be very grateful for that. In case you want to rewatch it all from the very start, the first episode of the series is available on your screen right now.